Hi, it's Dale Calvert. I appreciate the opportunity to participate in TLC's virtual event. I know some of you are attending live, but many of you are attending virtually from around the world. So congratulations on being here. My challenge is how, in the next few minutes that I have with you guys, how can I say something that's going to benefit the TLC leaders, the entrepreneurs that have been with Jack and TLC since basically the beginning, as well as those of you that have started in the last month or so, brand new, maybe new to this profession, to this industry. How can I say something that can communicate to both people, to the beginners and the people that have been around a while, and everybody in between? It's a pleasure to be here. I've thought about it. And I think the thing that I want to communicate to you guys, and this is so important, that leaders understand and don't forget, and then new people really grasp the magnitude of what they've got their hands on. And that statement would be, this business changes lives. This business, the business model you're in, changes lives. And I think as leaders, the longer we're around this profession, we hear all the stories, we tend to want to take that for granted. And we can't forget where we started, where we came from when we first started in this profession. I was on a virtual event this morning with another company, and one of the speakers had just reached the top level in that particular company. And he said, 10 years ago, I was hanging around in the construction company, in the construction crowd, and he said most of the people I hung around with were alcoholics and drug addicts and had all kinds of emotional and psychological problems. And today I get to hang around positive people. They're excited about their future. They have goals for their future. And he said, I don't want to take that for granted. And if you just stop and think about that, it doesn't matter where we start, it's where we're going to go. And really understanding what you've got your hands on. You know, if somebody were to call me, and people do quite often, and they say, Dale, I'm looking at finding a good network marketing company, and they ask me for my top 5 that they should evaluate, I can tell you TLC would be on that list. It just would be. And here's why. Yes, the compensation plan is awesome. The products provide value to the end consumers that consume and use the products. But more than that, I've known Jack, John, Scott, all the corporate people at TLC since basically the beginning. I've had the opportunity to work with these guys over the years, and I can tell you one thing. They understand that your success is where they have to focus. For TLC to continue to move forward and grow and do what they've done, and for that track record and that story to continue, they really get that it's about you and your success. So no matter where you are, if you're brand new or if you've been around forever, we have to understand that this business changes people's lives. This is the most remarkable business opportunity in the world, to give average people with above average desire the opportunity to create really legacy income, to totally change the projection of their family tree. I mean, I so love this profession. It changed my life. When I started, I was a little 20-year-old snot-nosed kid, didn't have a clue what I was doing. Didn't have a clue. I knew nothing about team building, business, marketing, nothing. Little 20-year-old kid living in a little 600 square foot home, driving a beat up Chevette. But I got plugged in and I got serious, and I realized, one of my mentors, Jim Rohn, said, formal education makes you a living. But if you can become self-educated, you can create a fortune. And if you're brand new and you're just getting started, I want you to understand, you know, I think one of the biggest problems people have is they think too small. You know, a lot of you are worried about, how do I get my first 2? You know, the 10-5-2 program, which is great, and it's a great way to launch and a great way to get your business going. But you got to see bigger. Where could you be in 5 years? Where could you be in 5 years if you really dedicate yourself to becoming, as Jim Rohn would have said, self-educated? Formal education makes you a living. If you become self-educated, you can create a fortune. You have the people that have gone before you in this company. You've got the corporate staff, people that are supporting you. You're in a great environment with a company that's going to be here 10, 20, 30 years from now. And it really is in your hands what you decide to do or not do. And a lot of people just take it for granted. They just take it for granted. Don't take this opportunity for granted. Get serious about it. Get plugged in. See, you're here at this virtual event or you're attending live. You could have done a lot of other things this weekend, but you chose to be here. Take the time, the energy that you've put into this event, the notes you've taken, and then take all this information and make a commitment to yourself that you're going to put it into action. Some people are just knowledge gatherers. They're note takers. Knowledge, what you're getting this weekend, without action leads to self-delusion down the road. You got to put into action what you're learning over this weekend. So I want to talk a little bit about duplication, because duplication really is what this business is all about. You have to be able to duplicate. It's not about what you can do. It's about what can be done by your team. Probably 8 years ago, I can't even remember, but several years back, I was participating in a TLC event. I think it was in Indiana. I think it was Fort Wayne. And at that Fort Wayne event, I passed out, there was about 500 people in the crowd, and I handed out note cards, the cards, the note packs, and I handed them out to everybody. And I said, here's what I want you to do. You've just sponsored a brand new person. What's the first 3 things you do with that person? And I had everybody write it down and then hand it in. And we had a big bag full of these, and I started going through them. And I started reading, this is what I would do first, this is what I would do second, this is what I would do third. And then we were going through it, and they were all different. And some people say, well, it just depends upon the person. Duplication doesn't come from finding tips, tricks, and nuggets. Duplication comes from systems. TLC's laid out a system for you guys. Speak to 2, talk to 10, 5 people buy, 2 people join, 2 people fly, talk to 10, 5 try, 2 fly. You guys have that system. That is a great system for you to get your business launched. See, I know that the majority of people that are watching this, you have not launched your business. You may have talked to a couple of people that you ran into, but you've not really launched it. You've not really launched it. You're still trying to figure out the perfect way to launch it. And here's the bottom line, guys. This business, getting it launched and getting it to start to duplicate, the hardest part is in the beginning. It's like an airplane. If an airplane's going down the runway, it uses all its energy as it's going down the runway to get off the ground. You have to launch your business. And if you have not launched your TLC business yet, then at the end of this weekend, when you have the energy and the emotion and the vision, it's the perfect time after this event to get this business launched so it can start to duplicate. Get it launched. That's where most people miss it. They just kind of get in and they just kind of play around with it, and they might mention it to a friend or neighbor if they happen to think about it. And you know, if they might give their business card out every now and then, and they get in this business and they just kind of play around with it for weeks or months, sometimes even years. Some people have been in this profession and playing around with it for 5, 10, 15 years. How do you expect to achieve the full upside potential that this opportunity offers you when you're just playing around with it? If you want to learn how to swim, you got to jump in the pool. You can't put your big toe in the water and expect to learn how to swim. You're not going to learn the skill sets, the mindsets, the systems that it takes to build this business if you don't get serious about it. And when you're talking to people, they know whether you're serious or not. And if you're not serious, you know what? They aren't going to join you. They shouldn't join you. I wouldn't join you. People are going to follow you when you decide where you're going. When you decide where you're going. And in the initial 10-5-2 program, part of that is taking some time and figuring out why you're doing the business. It's right there for you. Set some goals to achieve your first ranks and get serious about what you're doing. Get serious about it. Write down some goals. Think about it, because again, this business changes lives, but it's not like scratching a lottery ticket. You know, it's not the lottery. It takes work, it takes effort, it takes self-education. But like the guy that I was on the virtual summit with this morning said, 10 years ago, he's working in the construction business with the wrong crowd. 10 years later, he just hit the top level in that company. He probably made over $100,000 last month. That's the type of opportunity that you have available to you. But it's not going to happen by luck. It's going to happen by you deciding, I'm going to take everything I've learned this weekend, I'm going to apply it, I'm going to take myself, I'm going to get out there in the marketplace, I'm going to share with people, you know, our 5 different samples that we have to offer people, and I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to go out there and get my airplane off the ground. That's my goal. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to learn how to duplicate. How do you do that? Follow the system that's been laid out for you. Get good at it. Master it. Learn it well enough where you can teach it to somebody else. So they can teach it to somebody else. So they can teach it to somebody else. And that's how duplication really happens. That's how duplication really happens. I want to share a concept with you real quickly. And because some of you I know haven't launched yet. Well, Dale, who should I talk with? Here's an idea that we've been teaching lately, and it makes sense with people. I want you to imagine somebody contacts you, and we'll say by the phone. Could be a text, could be an email, but let's say by the phone. Somebody calls you, and it's somebody that if they were to pass away, you would go to their funeral. That's the kind of relationship you have with them. That you would go to their funeral and they call you. And let's just flip that. And you know, TLC's teaching 10-5-2, which I love. But what if it's 40 people to find 5 to find 2? Is that worth it? Absolutely. So let's say that you start with 40, but you want to contact 10 maybe one day, and 10 the next, and 10 the next, and 10 the next. But think about people that would come to your funeral. And if you contacted them and you're focused and you're excited and you're serious, and you said, look, I just got involved in a new business. I'm really excited about it. I need a favor. Can you help me out? What will most people say if you ask for a favor? If they would come to your funeral, then they would probably say, well, yeah, Dale, I'll help you out. What do you need? How can I help? We've got 5 different samples. I want you to choose one and try it and give me some feedback. My point is, communicate with people, be serious, be convicted about what you're doing. If you have not tried the product yet, Don't you dare go out there trying to share it with people and you haven't even tried it yourself. Get on the product, become a product of the product. But then when you're in the marketplace and when you're getting this airplane off the ground, be serious about what you're doing. Be serious, because people will try the product for you because they like you, they know you, but they won't if you're not serious about what you're doing. If you're just kind of, hoping to make, a little commission, again, thinking small instead of thinking, where are you going to be in 5 years? It's a totally different mindset. You communicate it a totally different way. Follow the system that TLC's laid out for you guys. Follow that. Plug into it. Learn it well enough to teach it so you can teach somebody else that can teach somebody else that can teach somebody else. It's not difficult. This business is very simple. Very simple. It changes people's lives. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Leadership, understand, don't take for granted what you're offering to people. Invest in people. Invest in people. Spend some time with people. Remember where you were when you started. And understand the power that this business model provides for people to absolutely change their lives. I don't know if we can zoom in on this picture, but when I started in this profession, I was living in this little, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little 600 square foot home. I was driving this beat up Chevy Chevette. Some of you know what that is. It's like a tin can on wheels. That's what it is, a tin can on wheels. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. My sponsor had so much faith in me. He quit 2 weeks after I joined. But I got plugged into a culture of people that were encouraging and helpful and supportive. And I started becoming self-educated and learning how to do this business. I decided that I was going to become self-educated. And I want to show you one other thing, because this is for the leaders that are watching this. And it's so important. But I don't know if you can see, but right here there's a brass plaque. And right there it says, never forget. Never forget. See, I didn't ever want to forget how I started, where I came from, and the unbelievable impact this business model can have on other people. I wanted, like most people, I wanted to quit my first 3 years. I was so frustrated. Why can't people see this? But I just kept going through the numbers, because I knew there's people out there that wanted more out of their life, and that if I kept going through the numbers, kept getting products in the marketplace, that eventually I would find my people. And it took me a long time. It took me 5 years to leave my job. It took me 9 years to work up to $92,000 a year. But my 10th year, my check jumped over $252,000. My 11th year was $1.1 million. My 13th year was $3.3 million. My 14th year was $3.8 million. And I retired at 39 from building teams. And, look at Jack's story. I know you have the book. If you don't, you need it. But read how Jack started this business when Jack and John were starting in their basement. Guys, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not the lottery. But it is, if you will get on the right path and stay on the right path and understand, this is about duplication, not innovation. The path is set for you. Plug into it, learn it so you can teach it. And if you will become self-educated and you decide, I am committed, I'm dedicated, I'm going to make this happen, and you get plugged in and you stay plugged in and you work consistently, it can happen for you as well. I don't know anybody in network marketing that just suddenly landed at the top. We all have to follow the same path. I want to share one more thing with you, and I'm going to let you go. This is real important. I think that people understand, and it's the truth. And oh, by the way, I've got some other TLC trainings that I've done. You can check it out if you want. MLMhelp.com. TLC. And there's other trainings there that you can check out. But here's what you have to understand, and this is what you have to be comfortable with. You know, I had somebody tell me last week, he said, well, Dale, how long before I'll make $1,000 a month? I don't know. How many samples are you willing to get in the marketplace? How many people are you willing to talk to? I don't know. It's different for everybody. Here's what I do know, and this is the way it really works. This is your first year. In your first year, this is your self-education time. You're going to have to learn some skill sets that you don't have and some mindsets that you don't have. You got to get some things from your head to your heart. You got to start understanding, you know, that you can have anything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. That this business is about helping other people move forward. It's not just about getting them in, it's about getting them in, keeping them in, and helping them duplicate and move forward. That's how you're going to build a real team. So your first year, let's say you put all this time in and you look, you say, well, I only made this much money. And that's the way a lot of people look at it. But you know what they forget about? The tax benefits. The first year, if you did nothing but got to take advantage of the tax benefits, and I'm not a CPA, but a part of your cell phone bill, a part of your internet expense, office and home, meals out, travel, your tickets to this event, every tool that you buy, you have unbelievable tax benefits. The best tax shelter in the world is operating a business from home. So everybody should be doing this business if for nothing else other than the tax benefits. But your second year, you're going to put in time and you're going to make more money your second year. I believe if you plug into what TLC is doing from day one and follow what they've laid out for you, that you should start here. You shouldn't have to go through these 2 years. I think by the end of your first year, you think, okay, I put this much time in, I've made this much money, plus I have tax benefits. I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling good. But this is the beauty of this business model. And you have to have this vision to really fulfill the true upside potential. Your fourth year, you put in this much time, you make a lot more money. Your fifth year and the rest of your life, you can put this amount of time in, and the money you make, this is what we call obnoxious money. It's obnoxious. And again, this is the business model that gives you the opportunity, if you learn how to duplicate, not how to sell products. Selling products is important, creating customers is important, but wealth is created when you learn how to build a team, and you do that through duplication. And there's no opportunity in the world, and I've looked at hundreds, that can give you the time and the money to enjoy it. A lot can provide you money, some can provide you time, but very few give you both. And nothing provides the lifestyle that network marketing provides. You know, Jack's going on different trips all the time. They have different incentives for you guys constantly. Once you get into this culture and you get serious about it and you understand this business changes lives. I'm going to use this to help other people change their life, to change my life, to be a positive influence on other people in the world. And you start looking at this from a larger, bigger perspective. The sky's the limit. It's unbelievable what you can accomplish. So learn how to duplicate. Follow the systems that they've laid out for you here. Again, my name is Dale Calvert. I hope you'll come by and visit me sometime at mlmhelp.com/TLC. I love this profession. I have to pinch myself every day what it's meant for me and my family over the years. It's a magnificent adventure. And I hope you decide after this weekend that you take yourself maybe to a level, to a thought process that you've never been before. And I hope after this weekend you'll decide, you know what, I've never really went after this, I've never really launched it, but I'm doing it this week. This is my week. I'm going to get into marketplace. I'm going to get those 5 different products into the marketplace, let people sample. I'm going to follow up with people, and I'm going to find my 2. If you're not binary qualified yet, get it. You're going to do it in the next 7 days. If you decide to do it, you will do it. We don't get what we want, we get what we expect. And if you decide, I'm not going to be denied, I'm going to get it done, and I'm going to get it done this week, and then I'm going to turn around and help other people get it done, and they're going to turn around and help other people get it done, and I'm going to start my team, I'm going to go on my magnificent adventure, and in 5 years, you're going to be saying one of 2 things. It's either I'm glad I did, or I wish I had. It's your choice. Thanks for listening. Have a great event. This is Dale Calvert. If I haven't met you, I hope to shake your hand in the near future.